Addiesdive watches are not perfect, and yet when they promise us an elegant piece, a sporty piece, and a dressy piece for just about $50 before tax, I know that I'm going to get value. Why? Well, because with Addiesdive, I know I'm going to get great lume. I know that I'm going to get a full stainless steel construction. I know that I'm going to get at least a VH31 sweeping seconds quartz. And yeah, that's good enough. But on top of that, this piece is truly elegant because Addiesdive has sussed it out. It's not just about the components, right? Let's think about Tendorio. When Tendorio gives us an elegant piece, it's like sledgehammer elegance, right? Yeah, it's going to have sapphire crystal, stainless steel, but it's going to be so rough and crude. Basically, anything they put out looks like a diver. Now, I like Tendorio and all that, but I hope you see what I mean. With Addiesdive, this AD2096 is actually elegant, but some shortcuts had to be made and we need to discuss them in this video. Now, the link to the listing is in the description below the video. There you're going to find some discount codes as well as the link to my collection, so do check them out if you're after a sharp price and some more discounts. And now let's dive in and talk about this dressy vintage retro styling in detail. Let's do it. Elegance isn't just a matter of parts, it's the art of proportion, balance, restraint, and that's exactly where this Addiesdive shines. What we have here is a 36mm diameter case, exactly as listed, but it wears with unexpected presence thanks to the well thought out design. It's 11mm thick, but a solid 2.5mm of that comes from the beautiful boxed mineral crystal, heavily domed and with anti-reflective coating. It rises proud of the bezel and gives the whole watch a vintage charm. We get inverted end links here, which keep the lug-to-lug length compact to just 44mm. Combined with a 19mm lug width, more than half the case diameter, and a taper down to 16mm at the clasp, this watch feels wide set and assertive on the wrist, despite its modest footprint. Take a look at the flanks. They're convex and fully polished, giving the case a plump, liquid-like curvature that flows from lug to lug. The lugs themselves curve downward and terminate in subtle, drooping tips that help the bracelet pivot sharply and hug the wrist more closely. It's a layered case too. Below that polished mid-case, you'll spot the slim lip of the screw-down case back, above a fixed bezel. Polished and in line, blends cleanly into the mid-case before giving way to the towering slab of mineral crystal. Now, the lug hoods are radially brushed, a circular brushing that contrasts gently with the vertical brushing on the end links. It's not a mismatch as such, the fit is snug and clean, but it gives a slight visual tension that adds character rather than takes away from it. A crisp bevel separates the flank from the top surface, smooth but sharply defined, and that's something you don't always get at this price point. Now, I hope you know what I mean here, because usually with these plump and slightly convex flanks, we usually see that the transitions to the lug hoods are done via these very smooth, almost smudged bevels. And if you've been watching this channel, you know that Corjo, Tendorio, they are to blame for that, right? Because we get those smudged transitions and they're not as crisp or well defined. So Addiesdive, good marks on this front. Let's keep going. Let's go to the right hand side of the case and we meet the signed crown. 5.9mm in diameter, finely notched and perfectly proportioned to the case height. This is a screw-in crown. The finely notched screw-in crown here is a pleasure to use. It's tall, it's grippy and unguarded thanks to its flush alignment with the flank. That height makes it easy to grasp, and after just a couple of smooth turns, it pops out with a satisfying spring. One pull gets you straight to time setting mode. No date detent with the VH31 movement. And the action is fluid with just the right amount of resistance. It's not sloppy or vague, it's precise. Once you set your time and push it back in, the minute hand stays locked exactly where you left it. Threading it back into the case is equally solid, and along with the screw-down case back, it gives this watch a proper 100 meters of water resistance. Let's talk about this dial, because in a watch like this, it's the quiet centerpiece that brings the whole aesthetic together. Now, we've already mentioned that tall, slightly domed K1 mineral crystal. It's not sapphire, sure, but at a sub $60 price point, closer to $50 before tax, it's a trade-off that feels more strategic than cheap. See, where other budget brands sprinkle a few decent components and leave the overall execution feeling crude, here, Addiesdive has delivered something far more elegant. At sharper angles, you'll catch that subtle purple-green sheen, the anti-reflective coating doing its job properly. There's also some light distortion and refraction at the crystal's boxed edge. It all adds visual interest without compromising readability. And speaking of readability and legibility, this dial nails it. The stark black backdrop paired with crisp white indices and hands give you instant clarity. And being an Addiesdive, the lume doesn't disappoint either. You get a strong, evenly applied blue glow across all the hour markers, the hands, and even the lollipop-style seconds hand. Bright and long-lasting, just as we've come to expect from the brand. Now look closer, and you'll find a clean white printed mini-track running around the outer edge. The hour markers include applied Arabic numerals at 3, 6, and 9, a downward pointing triangle at 12, and elongated applied batons for the rest. These markers aren't edged in chrome. Instead, they maintain that matte white finish, enhancing the contrast and field-ready aesthetic. But what really elevates the dial is the texture. The background features a subtle waffle pattern, tight, consistent, and richly executed. It's not printed, it's actually tactile, pressed, giving it a retro military feel while still looking refined. This isn't some flat background, it has depth, and that lends the watch an understated luxury feel. Topping things off, you've got the brand name Addiesdive in elegant cursive font beneath 12 and the 100 meters water resistance rating above 6. Let's wrap up with the bracelet, and I don't feel like this is a shortcut with this watch. We've got a 3-link design here with vertically brushed stainless steel links, delivering that classic tool watch aesthetic. There's a smooth, elegant taper from 19mm at the lugs down to 16mm at the clasp, which gives it that refined, well-proportioned feel on the wrist. Tolerances? Well, they're solid, nothing remarkable, but certainly better than what you'd expect at double the price. Link articulation is excellent, fluidity is spot on, and although the bracelet is held together with push pins, the overall construction feels robust. The clasp really seals the deal. It's a fully milled unit with a signed top, polished bevels along the edge for a subtle touch of visual elevation, and a double pusher release. Inside you're greeted with a milled folding wing, and you also get 5 micro adjustments for dialing in the perfect fit. All in all, it's a seriously impressive finish for a sub $60 watch, both functional and stylish. So what did you think about the Addiesdive AD2096? Do you think it's classy enough? Do you think it's elegant enough? Personally, I really do like this watch. Now, yeah, mineral crystal, K1, hardened, but again, the price point, and we get that whole look. Anyways, I do like this watch. It's an easy recommend in my books. Thanks for watching. Now, the link to the listing is in the description below the video. There you're going to find some discount codes as well as the link to my collection. Do check him out if you're after some sharp prices as well as more discounts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.